Looking at the film from last night, what kind of stood out to you as far as just the execution late in the OT?
We got to own it. I said it last night. We had a good film session, and the biggest thing, if we can take some things away from this game that helps us, we got to make our free throws, and we got to take care of the ball. We made some mistakes down the stretch that cost us, so it's an area that we know we need to improve on.
When you've got a Zion, a Brandon, and a CJ, three guys who are just such talented offensive players, how do you as a coach navigate, like, we're going to get the ball to you right now versus let them figure it out on the court for themselves?
Well, I think we're still finding out who we want the ball to go to. And last night, all three of those guys had opportunities with the basketball in their hands. So we're figuring it out as a group. Like I said, if the two things that we can pull from that game that we can control is we can make free throws. Okay, we can take care of the basketball on the offensive end.
How good was it to see Dyson playing with some confidence on the offensive end last night?
It was really good. Dice has been really good for us this season. He had a stretch in that starting unit where I think they went 5-2 or something like that, where he was really good for us. And had a little dip after that, and then we got some guys healthy, so his playing time wasn't as high as before. But I love the energy that he brought last night. Made some shots. Defensively, he was all over the place, rebounding the ball, making some big plays. And we just want to continue to see some growth from him.
Coach, we didn't ask last night, but how's Najee doing? He had to leave the game, I think, with a shoulder issue, and then I think Herb laid down on the ground after he, I think, got hit in the head.
Both of those guys are doing fine. They both had a full practice today.
And what about Larry? Did he go through full practice?
Yes, Larry did too.
And I know you're big on, you said it for the past couple of years about when you probably got to get on the court and practice and really go through it. Does it help now that you got healthy bodies who can actually go through practice and y'all can actually do some stuff on the court more than just kind of walk through?
Yeah, we did today. We put ourselves right back in the same scenario, and we worked on it. And that's the only way to get better at it, is put our guys in those situations where it's 3 minutes left, 4 minutes left, we're up 3 or we're down 3, and now we work on our execution.
And the numbers with CJZ and BI haven't been as good this year as they were last year. What are you kind of seeing with them working together? And obviously they're so important for you guys late in games as well.
I think they're on the floor more now than they were last season. So those three guys figuring out how do we want to play, who's the ball going to go to, how do we play off each other is important. And we're all talking about it as a staff and our players. But like I said, what can we control? We can make free throws. We can not turn the ball over. That's going to help us a ton. If we come down and get a quality shot every time, those are the teams that can have success in the last 4 or 5 minutes of a game.
And, Coach, how much is it on the players to actually talk amongst themselves? Like, for instance, when LeBron, all the guys got back in Miami together for the first year, they had to kind of decide, right, D-Wade, Bosh, and LeBron, who's going to kind of do what? Do you think CJ and BI and Zion have to do the same thing kind of?
It's on all of our guys collectively. They know that, the communication. But this is a young group, so this is an area of growth for us where we can get better. We can get better with our communication, and it's a part of the growing pains. It's why you love basketball, why you love sports, why you get into it. We'll have our challenges, and we continue to navigate through them.
Do you think there needs to be a hierarchy that gets developed or anything like that amongst the three of them, maybe where it makes it easier, right, instead of everybody's just looking at one another?
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if that's what develops. But right now, it's I go back to my main principles is what can we control? How can we put our focus on getting better in those areas? And then those guys will communicate as they spend more time with each other. And that's going to help us grow as a team as well.
A couple of those close losses came to the Jazz earlier this season. How would you like to see this team respond against a team that they've had some of those injuries late in games?
Yeah, we need to respond more so for us. Not necessarily for the Jazz or for Memphis or for Houston, but, when we play teams that are physically tough and they sort of climb into us and put their hands on us, we struggle at the end of games. So it's more for us to get to a point where we know these are our sets, this is what we'll execute, and as a team, we just have to cut down on the mistakes at the end of games.
When it's an issue with late game situation like you've had the past couple of times out, is it something where you got to kind of talk through it where it doesn't become mental, where it doesn't become like a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Where you're kind of like, here we go again type of thing. Is that something you got to address as a coach?
That happens. Just that's the human nature. It's like, here we go again, but we got to work through it. The only way to change it is that we have an opportunity to do something about it. We got more games in front of us. We'll have more close games this season, and you live and you learn. And I'm learning as a coach, some things that I can do better. Our players are doing the same, and then you go out and play the game and see what happens.
Do you know if there's a chance Larry's available tomorrow against Utah?
We'll have an update for you guys tomorrow. Yeah.